I think ensuring the digital infrastructure is in place for our organization is the number one, because ICT Agency of Sri Lanka comes under Ministry of Digital Infrastructure and Telecommunication. One of our key mandates is to make sure that the infrastructure which will facilitate a digital society is in place. Now we have taken several steps towards that. One of the famous ones, what is already there in the media is the testing of Google Loon. So with that, we intend to bring in broadband infrastructure to the entire country by using LTE technology. The idea is that the entire country, any citizen in the country will have access to internet. So we are currently in the process of testing it, a 6 to 12 month time period. So once that is successful, we will be able to achieve that. For us, that is basic, because every citizen in the country should have access to information, and putting that infrastructure in place is the key. And there are several parallel initiatives. For example, we are in the process of giving connectivity to 7,500 public locations by 2018. So there will be high availability, high speed connectivity for all these locations, and from all these locations there will be Wi-Fi spots. So people will be able to come in and connect their device. So in parallel to that, we have 1 million tab devices initiative, where we are going to, in a loan scheme, give out all these devices to citizens, so that we would encourage them, not only people in cities, in other communities, make use of this infrastructure, make use of a way of life where you would interact through devices with each other. So that is one of the key things that we are looking at. And in addition to that, there is another primary initiative that we are currently in the process of rolling it out, that is issuing of a digital identity to every citizen. So we believe that in physical form, I know who you are and all that, but in digital space, it is important that when systems talks to each other, the individual can be identified absolutely. So issuing a digital identity to every citizen, we are going to start off with beneficiaries, because that's where government spending a lot of amount of funds through these beneficiary programs. We are trying to make sure that these funds are utilized and goes to the absolutely needy, right? And then during that process, we are trying to issue digital certificates, to each individual. So whereby in the long run, we will be able to handing out any beneficiaries, or in a disaster situation, all that we'll be able to, the systems will be able to talk to each other and identify the individual, and even the treasury who wants to transfer funds should be able to directly transfer funds. So in this regard, we have initiated two key projects. One is National Digital Identity Initiative and National Digital Transaction Platform, which are intertwined. So citizens will be able to give digital instructions through this platform. All their bank accounts, this is on a voluntary basis, can connect to this. So for example, if you want to make this goes even to a economic perspective, if you really look at it, transferring funds, making payments online would become very easy, because all you have to do is identify yourself, maybe a fingerprint or whatever, and you are authenticated, your systems knows who you are, and then you issue the digital instruction. So real time all the transactions can happen. Yeah. So with regard to capacity building and bringing up leaders, we have had several initiatives during last 7-8 years, which we call e-champions and government chief innovation officers, where the whole idea is to build the capacities of individuals in these key organizations, so that they can become champions, they can lead this effort toward digitizing the society, right? So that is actively going on. And in addition to that, with regard to education sector, the question you asked for, we are working very closely with the Ministry of Education. Now earlier I spoke about key initiatives to implement government infrastructure, implementing a high speed, high availability government network. So through that network, We are trying to, I mean, now systems can talk to each other and share information, but for the end user, we have initiated a project where a lot of good content will be, will be accessible through this network. For example, a school located in a rural area, okay, there may be a lot of issues with regard to, teachers not being there or stuff like that. But to ensure the level of quality and to ensure that people, the students have access to quality material, what we are trying to do is make use of this network that we are implementing, connecting 7,500 organizations and public locations, so that make that content available to students through that channel. So, for example, they can go to any of the Wi-Fi hotspots, connect their device, and they will have access to all these education content. So, in parallel to the curriculums and whatever being taught, we are going to make available a lot of other additional content, so that they have access to that, they can learn from it, and hopefully make use of it. Yeah, I mean, with regard to regional connectivity, regional cooperation, I think that is vital. I mean, if you look at what internet had made, I mean, it's no longer one country, working in isolation. The entire world is working together, sharing information. So when it comes, when a country like ours implementing this kind of major initiatives in a national scale, I mean, it's very important that lessons learned from other countries in the region, can be looked at, and lessons can be, taken into. And there's a saying, you need to leapfrog. I mean, you don't need to redo the same thing and go walk the same path to make to hit the same obstacles. I mean, if you can learn from the region who have done, there are several countries who have done similar initiatives, and we are actually very much working with those organizations. There is dialogue between the countries and key ministries, so that when we implement these initiatives, that we have some insight into some of the obstacles that they have found. So I think that is very important, and then that is something that ICT as an organization advocates a lot. Hi, my name is Kanchana Thudugala. I am Director Special Projects at ICT Agency of Sri Lanka, ICTA. ICTA is the apex ICT body for the government, facilitating policy level and implementation on ICT solutions and initiatives. My vision for the next 10 years, well, Sri Lanka being a digital society,